nurse, pharmacist, physician, physical therapist, dental hygienist, systems analyst, database admin, software developer, and web developer are today's top career considerations worldwide. Yet there are those very special persons who chose the path to God's people through the sacred calling of ministerial priesthood. In this week's feature, we travel out west and visit St. Benedict's Diocesan Seminary, the only one in the country, to take a closer look at the call and the life of those called. Hello, with this week's feature, I am Tessa Habet. Our feature story is brought to you by Atlantic Bank Limited.
We instill trust that makes you believe in us. We are the diversity that unites us more and more. We are a family in constant growth. We are a country that always dreams big. We strive for excellence in all our products and services that enhance our customers' lives. We are Belize. We are Atlantic Bank. And today, we celebrate 50 years supporting your dreams. Atlantic Bank. Together, we are what we dream of.
Sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and say, my hand will say, I who made the stars of night, I will make their darkness bright, who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the
night. St. Benedict Diocesan Seminary, located in the very lush areas of Santa Elena, Cayo, is the home of our church's seminarians and has quite some history to its name. It's a history that Father Jordan Gongora, parish priest of Our Lady of Guadalupe Co-Cathedral in Belmopan, is all too familiar with.
This where we are is formerly known as Santa Familia Monastery. It was opened many years ago by the Benedictine monks. They came from Subiaco, Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. And they came and they got this land, or a specific land where we are right now, and they built this place. They built the building. They left, I believe, in 2001. They decided to leave the monastery, and they turned the land and the building to the diocese. During that time, I believe it was Bishop Martin who took over the administration of this building, this place, and he had entrusted it to Mr. Bill Ryan, who was the administrator of this place. It was kept as a retreat center only. A few priests came to live here, like the fraternal priests in the past for a number of years, until Bishop Glancy, along with Bishop Wright, decided to open the main building, the monastery itself, because behind me is the retreat center, and where the seminary is right now was to be the old monastery. So in 2015, Bishop Glancy, along with Father Leo Palma, they decided that they opened the first Diocesan Minor Seminary. This is a minor seminary where young guys come to discern in their early stages, in their early young life, and they prepare, you would say, sixth form level at Sacred Heart Junior College. So from 2015, this place began to function as a seminary for the diocese. It's called St. Benedict Diocesan Seminary. In December of 2019, I received a couple of applications which have entrusted to me the diocesan vocations. And so I started to entertain those applications and interview the young men. And so Bishop Larry asked me, what can we do? And I suggested we need to allow them to discern.
It's a calling from God. And so these men have received a calling, okay? They have heard, the calling and from God. And so the unfolding of that response is what we call the seminary life. These men or seminarians would have been coming from a very, very Catholic family. So whatever that they have had now, it's basically coming from their parents. They have been, brought to church at an early stage, and I have heard it from them. Parents teaching them to first to respect life, to respect their own life, to respect the life of others, and teaching them about the basic, Catholic faith, prayer, going to mass, receiving the sacraments. So that has been the backbone of their faith, which is taught by their parents. And so when they come in here, it's like they want to drink more from that wisdom of the church. They are willing to make sacrifice, because to respond to a noble calling from God, it entails sacrifice. And one of that sacrifice is that they are willing to leave their family behind.
Currently, 4 seminarians are installed at St. Benedict and have been there for a relatively short period of time, yet enough for them to describe what their journey has been like.
I was a person that was studying to become a doctor, which I do as well, love being the stuff that the doctors do. Also, I was a teen that loved the outer world, to say a world that offers all sorts of material stuff. That includes partying, that includes being out with friends, having experience. I finished, not really finished, but I left my studies due to economic reasons. So I went to work. As early as 15 years, I started to work as a truck driver in Stan Creek with the company of the orange business. So I started to work 4 years, helping myself, working for my siblings as well too. And also I was living with my grandmother. So I had a little distance with my parents, but still being around with my grandmother. So at that age, I left working. And that's when I become to find out I need something else in my life. And I started to be going to the church. I had an invitation to the church, the Catholic Church. And that is when I encountered with the priest at that time, Father Eduardo Barrera, and he asked me to work in the church. So I started to work with some American people coming in, different groups, religious. That's when I discovered that I had a call. I felt something calling. So I didn't put no attention to it. So I leave it. And a priest came from out of the country, and he told me that I am good for a priest. You look like a priest. You should join a seminary. At that time, I didn't know what was a seminary. So I had some investigating, knowing what it is. And that stayed for a while, 2 years mostly. Then I heard the second time a call. As well, I ignored that call and I said to myself, if I do hear your call one more time, I will answer. And at the age of 24, I heard his call. And that's when I respond to him.
There was this one day I went to the feast of St. Joseph the Worker at Valley of Peace, and I was, at first I didn't have the desire of joining our seminary numbers, and I went to church to that feast of St. Joseph the Worker, and I went there. I didn't pay mind to much mass, but then a person in white cassock. At first, I didn't know it was a cassock. And I said a white dress-looking thing. I said, is coming towards me, and then I didn't expect him to talk to me, no. And it was Father Jordan Gangara. He was the one who spoke to me there, and then he invited me to a come and see that happened in 2017, if I'm not mistaken. And he told me about. He said he saw something in me that I can be a priest. No, then I didn't put that in mind. So I went back to school, and that time I was in third form. I didn't pay much mind to it. So then when I went into fourth form, a teacher of mine who is a Catholic, Mr. Eugene Safor, he is a Catholic, and I mentioned to him about my vocation, and then I mentioned to him about what happened to me, no? And then he said, I guess God is calling you to become a priest. And then I started to laugh, me being a priest. That's not for me. Again, and I met another teacher, is Father Marcos Rodriguez's brother. He is a teacher also there. And I told him about it again, and he said, you know what? He said, it looked like, yes, you will become a priest, no? So then I started to, and I got puzzled about it, and like, why are you guys telling me this? I mean, I have never desired to become a priest, no? All I was doing is to become a farmer, you know, to farm in the field, no? That was my desire. I studied agriculture at high school, so and then he introduced me to the Fraternidad, which is his brother order, Father Rodriguez, Father Julio. That was his order. He introduced me to there. And then I said, but I don't want, I guess if I ever to become, I do not want to become a missionary, no? I want to serve in my country. And then I told him about the come and see. Then he told me, go. You might find your life purpose there, no? So then I attended the come and see. By then, in 2018, if I'm not mistaken again, it's there, I attended the come and see. So then I said, okay, I will take a leap of faith. I will take it. I will grab this. I will do it. So then I told my mom that I will study to become a priest, and she said, okay, fine. I mean, if that's what you want, you go for it.
I started to think to become a priest at the age of 9 when my family went to church, to mass, and seeing the priest consecrating in front of the altar. It's like, I said to myself, I want, in the future I'll be like that person in the altar, serving God's people. It's always been in my mind since then. So in religion class, I always look forward to that religion class, getting good grades, doing my work, doing the homework they assign us for religion. I started to go to Moffles Junior College, which is in the Orange Rock district in San Esteban Village. I just did like 1 semester there, where I was studying, I was having a degree in law and sociology, an associate's degree in law and sociology. From there, I started to contact Father Jordan, that I am interested in starting here. starting the formation, and then he responded and we started to communicate. He invited me to come to come experience how is the seminary life. That was in June it was in October. So, and then I came, spent one day and one night here. And from there, this desire became more strong. I was sure of what I wanted. It was more clear.
At first, the word priest was not in my mind. I didn't even have the mentality of becoming a priest. But eventually, it came to me when I was in primary school. I grew up mostly around Jesuit priests. But my influence was mostly a Jesuit priest. But when I was growing up more, I also admired the priests whenever they do mass. And I said to myself, I want to be that person there. It stayed with me for some years when I went to high school. Then when I was in high school, it was more, I had the feeling more. I came to my mom and told her that I want to become a priest. She looks at me and said, are you crazy? She wanted grandkids. Then I spoke to my parish priest, Father Brian, that I wanted to become a priest. He encouraged me more to discern more if that's what I really want. And then another time I met Father Vega there at St. Martin's when he was finishing Mass. I asked him, he asked me, how old am I? At that time I was only 14. So he said, okay, well, keep that thought. Don't forget about it, pray about it. Come back to me when you're finished with high school. By the time I was done with high school, I went back again to Father Brian and asked him to advise me on what to do. So he told me, what is the best option is to join your diocese. Your diocese needs you. Get experience with them. And if that does not work out for you, you can always come back to me, and I will be more than happy to help. At that time, I had friends. My friend asked me, when you're done with high school, are you going to find a job? Or are you going to do a total job? I told them that I had the feeling and I want to become a priest. My friends told me that, no, why would you want to be a priest? Don't you want to have kids? Well, I told them yes, but when I'm done, I'll have a lot of kids. I'll have spiritual kids that I will be father figure for them. Because maybe some of them, their parents had died or abandoned them, and they would look up to me as a father figure for them. And with me being a priest would influence them more to live more a holy life, live with God.
A vocation to the priesthood is definitely a call from God. And this young man would ultimately feel that inclination, and he would approach a priest, a religious, he would approach a seminary, a house of formation, and begin the process of discernment. It is beautiful because they come with different gifts that God gives them, infuses in them. They come in different cultures. Right now we're about to have our first Quechua priest next year, Deacon Mateo. We have one Maya seminarian, and so they come with different gifts. Other seminarians, they come with different studies because when they come here, they already have high school. So they learn different areas of study. Some have business, some have agriculture, some may have other different ways that they can edify the seminary community. And also they come with their own unique ways, reaching out to others. For example, if they have musical abilities, or they can sing, or they're very fluent in language and so on. So that all blends into the uniqueness of a seminary, yet they're all discerning a call to the priesthood together.
Leaving everything behind was something that I think about it. At first it was hard, leaving everything behind. Then in a matter of time, the process of studying, I get used to okay, this was me. This is me when I was at a younger age, and now this is me. So I put it in 3 parts. The past is like a journey. The center of my life present was the becoming to the future, and now is living that present. So I can see that there's a process that I have accepted in my life. Although it is hard, I do accept this. I do accept leaving what is the outer world to be someone to serve, serve God, serve the need of the people as well too.
Seeing myself as the Gabriel in 2017-16 and seeing myself now, it's 2 different person, because at first I'm a person, yes, I go to church every Sunday, go to service, but now here in the seminary I attend Mass every day, do prayers, which is I don't used to do that prayer, I don't pay mind to reading Bible or anything when I was that Gabriel, but now here I'm right here reading the Word of God. Every day of my life, that prayerful life of mine has grown more in depth to have a better relationship with God, and I guess that's what inclines to my heart that I belong here, and also to serve people. When we were in Bamopan, we used to go for missions in the villages, and people would say, we really do need young men. We're so happy you're in the seminary. And I guess that's what really captured my attention, yes, this is where I belong. People wants me to serve and wants me to serve God with them.
It's a very nice, good thing, because something I always wanted, and I feel I'm in the right place. I'm here. It's what God has for me. It's like I feel like if I'm obeying Jesus, because it's like if He told me to be here, and I'm not here. I'm here doing what He wants, what He has called me for.
It's not easy to just leave everything behind. It's hard. Because when I was younger, I enjoyed my time with family, with friends. But now I came here, I have adapted to the seminary setting with my brother seminarians, and now I take them as my family, because at the end of the day, when we all become priests, I will be working with them. They will be my family. My spiritual family, they will be my spiritual family. But I will still have my family with me, but not all the time, because I will also be doing different things. But knowing that I have them in my heart and they have me in theirs makes me more happy, and what makes me more happy is seeing them happy that I am here. And I decided to take this step in my life to put God in the center of my life.
they would be up as early as 6, get ready, then they would come down. I asked them to be in the chapel 15 minutes before prayer so that they can take time to meditate. Morning prayer would be the first prayer we offer in the morning, followed by Mass. We have moved it a little earlier. We're doing it now at 6:45, so they need to be in the chapel by 6:30. 6:45 morning prayer, and Mass at 7 in the morning. And that's the main prayer during the day. Twice a week, Father Vicente does meditative prayer with them in the morning, and then once a week they have Lectio Divina. That's where the prayer begins. So you can see how prayer begins to build the day. Then we would have breakfast together. One seminary is assigned as a kitchen coordinator, so we prepare only breakfast and evening dinner, because lunch we have a cook that comes in every day. During the day, between breakfast and lunch, they have classes, or they would be doing work in their room, or they would just go and run errands or so forth, but not anything major that would keep them away from discernment. Then at noon, we would gather for lunch. We talk, we run jokes, and we talk about the day or any news or what's happening. Then after that, the seminarians would go back to their rooms. Some of them take a nap, or others would continue to do work, do research, and so forth, or take a walk here. And until the evening, we gather again for prayer. We do evening prayer and then rosary in the afternoon around 4 o'clock. And then we take a break until supper at 6. And then the night, the last prayer would be at 9 in the night with night prayer. That ends the day of prayer and activities in the seminary.
You know, all these coming together is, we use it like getting to know each other, getting to hear from each other, you know, expressing themselves in a very profound way. That is what it entails to live in a community. It's no longer a one-man show. It's a community where we spend a lot of time together. So at breakfast time, one seminarian is assigned to take care of the breakfast, to prepare the breakfast and so forth. And then after breakfast, we have one who takes care of the dishes, the washing of the dishes, and so forth. And then of which everybody would have now scheduled time for classes in different timing during the day. They have also personal prayers that they are also responsible, you know, anytime during the course of the day, that we encourage that, you know, relationship. Apart from the communal aspect of the prayer life in the seminary, there's also what we call personal, you know, prayer, you know, that they can find time to, you know, before the Blessed Sacrament, or, you know, in the chapel, in silence, and so forth. The whole seminary life for the day is centered on prayer, you know, beginning with the Eucharist, certainly, which is the heart of everything. It's, you know, it's centered on prayer, you know.
The most I'm looking forward is to serve, you know, the need of the people. We do have, in our country, we do have parishes that do have over 16 villages, you know, and it is hard for a priest to get there. So I believe that with more helping out, as president, I do go to village, helping people, helping the church, serving, doing communion service on Sundays. So I felt that that is a need for me, you know, to serve the people that are at distance, to bring them more closer to God, to give them that experience that, yes, I'm listening, I'm here, you know. So I guess that is what calls me and gives me more energized, I can say, to serve even much better.
Well, right now, the most important thing I look forward to is to be successful here, then to achieve what I want, stay here, and till the end, to ordination. That's the thing I look forward to end successfully, then, like, achieve it in like 8 or 9 years from now. I look forward for my ordination already, and I'm just started.
What I'm looking for, most I'm looking for now is to serve God's people with everything I can. Yes, I have challenges speaking Spanish. I'm a Mopan Mayan, so I guess for me, it's to serve the people of the church. That's what I want to do. I mean, not I want to do, what God wants me to do, you know, for Him, not me. Like I said, I didn't saw myself ending up to the seminary. I was like, I want to work, I want to have my farm, I want to be a farmer, but then not knowing I'll be a farmer of God's people, you know, to sow His word to them, but not actually the fruits, the vegetables that I wanted to do, no? So yeah. And there is this verse in Jeremiah 29:11, is I always say, for I, the Lord, knows the plan I have for you. So, I mean, He knows the plan. He set me apart from what He wants me to do.
Now I'm looking forward in working with the people of God, being more close with them and sharing what I have learned with them. And also I am also willing to hear what all they have, because if we become priests in the future, we'll be the one that the people come to most, because they have more confidence in us, and we're the ones that has to more come up with reasons and how to go about in their lives, because some of them may have mentality of killing themselves. We'll have to be the one to try to talk them out of it, that because they will be looking up to us, and we'll be their example, where we will be their father figure. And I'll be looking forward to working with them to be their spiritual father. That will be open to anyone that would like talk with me or that would want advice. I'll be open to all of them, and especially the youths. I want to work more closely with the youths to bring them more closer to God, even to get more vocation, because maybe we have the vocations there.
I've been hoping and wishing there would be a full-time priest here with the seminarians. It's very important that a priest be with them at all time, especially to offer the sacraments, especially Eucharist, and to supervise and guide them in the other prayers like Lectio Divina and so on. So praise God that Father Vicente is here with us, and Bishop assigned him here. My presence also representing the Bishop in the formation for the diocese is also important. My job here is to observe, to allow the seminarians to discern in the different ways that I can assist them, possibly. I have to make sure there's groceries, I have to make sure the bills are paid, I have to make sure the seminarians are taken care with their personal items, the building itself, I have to make sure it's functioning. If there's something to repair, that's my job. Father Vicente's job is to guide them and to just to accompany them being here. And he also is teaching, so I'm glad he's also able to teach them a course in theology.
It's people who are willing to support the seminary, and our church in Belize is aware of the seminary here, and we're having 4 seminarians right now. Recently, Father Marcus was ordained, and he studied here with some other group who are studying in the States right now at Kendrick Seminary. We have 3 there, 1 a deacon, and the other 2 are still seminarians. And so with that, people are very generous in supporting our seminarians. Basically donations and funding, it's all coming through the bishop. Certainly, he is the man behind everything that when it comes to the seminary. And therefore, it is a big seminary, and with the upkeep of this premise it takes a lot. So we have one staff who really looks after the the upkeep here to keep this, this compound here the way that you see here, green, and it's basically that is his work, to cut the grass. And as you can see how big this portion, by the time he cuts here, the other side is already ready to cut. So when he finished there, this side here is ready to cut. So it really is a lot of work, and the land is so big.
Just that the work here at the seminary, it requires a collective work from the faithful. The priests, of course, we are the formators, but I would strongly encourage the teachers out there in high schools, in junior colleges, to encourage vocations to the priesthood. We really need priests for the future. And I think Father Marcos, Deacon Mateo, Shahir Manuel, they are examples of what this started. And look, we have one priest already. In the future we'll have 4. In the next 2 years we'll have 4 new priests. And these guys are coming behind. So we're seeing the fruit here. I strongly ask your support. Whatever way you want to assist. You want to come and be here and help us clean, you can come. You can bring in food. If you're going by this way, you can stop by and bring us something that will contribute to the formation of these young men.
For the sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and say, my hand will say, I who made the stars of night, I will make their darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night.
With that, we express our gratitude for all the laborious dedication of the Diocese of Belize and Belmopan, for the seminarians, and of course, for all those who have and continue to offer up the lives of these seminarians in prayer and support. St. Benedict Seminary is a testament to our prayers as a church, and we pray and wish the best for these young men in discerning this sacred calling. And that's our story. Thanks for watching. For this and more feature stories, you can follow us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, or view on Guadalupe Media Channel 96 on CCV or Channel 64 on CBC. You can also tune in on the radio in your car, home, or office at 101.9 FM, and please be sure to download the Guadalupe Media radio app from Google Play or the App Store. Our Blessed Mother, lead us to Jesus.